Windhelm is an ancient city covered in snow. It's a city divided by race and consumed by war. The Nords dominate the city, living in the Stone Quarter. The Dunmere are restricted to living in the slums, known as the Grey Quarter. And the Argonians aren't even allowed to live inside the city walls, instead having to find shelter at the docks. It's also the headquarters for the Stormcloak Rebellion, which is responsible for the civil war raging throughout Skyrim. And while everyone's focused on the war outside the city, something darker is happening within. Someone has been committing a string of murders. Someone the people of Windhelm call the Butcher. While walking through Windhelm, I saw a woman named Viola Giordano. And while walking past her, she warned me to be on the lookout for the Butcher. So I decided to stop her and ask a few questions. The Butcher? I hardly know her.
After what happened to those other women, I'm worried about my own safety.
Well, what did the Butcher do?
Women murdered time and again, and all the guards care about is the war.
Well, what can we do? I walked around Windhelm to try to get more information about the Butcher, and after speaking to Nilsine Shattershield, we find that the Butcher's most recent victim was her twin sister, Frigga. I also found out that there's a cursed orphan and got into a fight with a racist Nord supremacist.
Every night, I walk around the Grey Quarter and let them Greyskins know what I think of them.
Listen, mister, I don't like your attitude.
Don't like it? Too bad. This is our city. Ours. 100 septims say I can punch you back where you came from.
Back where I came from? Oh, hell no.
All right? Fists only. And none of that magic stuff either. Let's go.
Round one, fight!
No racism allowed here. At this point, I hit another dead end, and the only way to move the investigation further was to literally wait for another murder to happen. So while I waited, I decided to go see what the rest of Skyrim had to offer. I'm out that bitch. Looks like you missed me. Now you gotta kiss me. Is that a dragon? There's a fucking dragon! What the fuck? What the fuck is going on over here, bro? Oh, what the fuck is that? Wait, he's huge! Wait, he's fucking huge. What? It didn't work! Why didn't it work? He screamed and it didn't do anything. After getting put on a shirt 3 times, I figured enough time had passed, so I decided to go back to Windhelm to see if anything changed. Something changed.
Hold it there. Keep your distance.
So, what happened here?
Another girl killed. This is Susanna from Candlehearth Hall. Susanna's the third.
She's the third one? Is anybody doing anything about it?
We are stretched thin as it is with the war. Nobody has the time to spend on this.
I mean, I'm supposed to be getting the horn of Jorgen Windcaller, but I can make some time if you need the help.
If you want to help, ask some of these gawkers if they saw anything useful.
This seems like a job for Batman. Oh wait, no, sorry. Wrong franchise. But don't worry, I got this. The guard asked us to try to get some information from the people at the crime scene, so it's time to question some witnesses. First, we have Helgerd, a priestess that works at the Hall of the Dead. Then we have Calixto Corium. He runs Calixto's House of Curiosities, which is basically just Ripley's Believe It or Not. And finally, we have Silda the Unseen. She is a beggar, but she can also teach you how to pickpocket. All right, Helgerd, you see anything?
No, sorry.
Okay. What about you, Calixto? You see anything?
Sorry. I thought I saw a fellow running away, but didn't get a good look at him.
All good. Silda, you see anything?
I heard a scream and came running, but she was already like this when I got here.
You mean to tell me she was already like this when you got here? In her underwear? Hello? I'm talking to you.
If you've got some time, stop by my House of Curiosities. I promise you'll see wonders.
Now is not the time. Since the witnesses didn't witness anything, I decided to search the body strictly for investigative purposes. Okay, I took that because it's evidence. I'm conducting a forensic investigation. And don't ask me where I'm pulling these items out from. Now that I've finished my investigation, it's time to check back in with the guard. Alright, so I spoke to them and they know absolutely nothing.
Just like always. Nobody saw anything useful. Bastards escaped again.
Well, let me help you catch him.
If you think you can do better than the Legion of Guards, be my guest. You'll need to talk to Yorleif, though. If he's willing, then we'll talk.
I bet. Apparently, I need permission before I can investigate any further, which is weird because I'm currently the only person investigating. But regardless, we have to make our way to the Palace of Kings and ask Yorleaf if he'll let me work on the case. Yo, Yorleaf, I don't know if you heard about the murder that happened, but let me help you solve it.
My men are stretched thin as it is. If you offer your aid, I gladly accept.
Now that we have permission, I tell the guard that I'm ready to investigate. And he points out a massive trail of blood leading away from the crime scene. He also mentions that I should talk to Helgerd to get more information about the dead body. And listen, I'm sure she has valuable information, but there's a trail of blood on the floor. That seems significantly more important right now. Following the trail of blood takes us to this house, which happens to belong to Frigga Shattershield, who, as we mentioned earlier, was one of the butcher's victims. And unfortunately, the door is locked. Now, I could just pick the lock, but breaking into the house of a murder victim seems like the kind of thing I probably shouldn't do. So instead, I went to find her family and ask if I could rummage through her house. Excuse me, Tova? Do you mind if I look through Frigga's house?
I'm sorry. I'd rather not talk about my daughter.
Look, I totally understand, but the person that killed your daughter is still out there. And there's currently a trail of blood leading to her front door. So if you could give me the keys, that'd be great.
Yerim? Well, I'm not sure what you think you'll find there, but you're welcome to have a look.
Now that we got the key, we can finally step inside. When you first enter, the house is dark, foggy, and abandoned, with cobwebs hanging from the ceiling. The place is huge, consisting of 2 floors and 4 rooms. But instead of feeling spacious, it feels empty. On the floor, we find a trail of blood leading us to a chest. And inside, we find flyers meant to warn people about the killer haunting the streets of Windhelm. But more importantly, we find a book titled Butcher Journal Number 1. In the next room, I found a shelf stacked with more of the flyers warning people about the butcher. But while looking through the piles, I noticed something. A strange amulet with a skull. Then we have 2 wardrobes. One of them is exactly what you'd expect, but the other one is different. At first, it looks the same, but for some reason, it's nailed to the wall. Opening it reveals a false back, and behind it, a hidden room. Body parts are scattered across the floor, and directly in front of us is an altar with skeletal remains arranged on top. Whoever's behind these murders isn't just taking lives, they're harvesting body parts as if they're trying to build something. On the altar, we also find a book titled Butcher Journal Number 2. And to the left of the altar, we find a shelf stocked with embalming tools. The rest of the house doesn't reveal anything important, so it's time to go through the evidence and see what's going on. We've got 4 key pieces of evidence. A stack of flyers warning us about the butcher, 2 journals written by the butcher, and a strange amulet that seems to have no purpose. In the first journal, the butcher talks about every body like it's just raw material. Like Windhelm isn't a city full of people, but a store full of parts. The butcher also talks about their time in Winterhold and their frustrations with the mages there, saying that they're wasting time learning magic that's already known, while the butcher is trying to discover something deeper, something they call flesh magic. In the second journal, the butcher lists everything they need to complete the ritual they're performing. And on the next page is a translation of an ancient poem written by the Aldmir, the first elves in the Elder Scrolls universe. But this poem doesn't feel like art. It feels like a riddle. It's not something you sit there and admire. It's something you're supposed to figure out. It's a step-by-step guide hidden inside an ancient language, explaining how to bring the dead back to life. If we take a look at the flyers, it says to report any suspicious behavior to Viola Giordano, which, if you've been paying attention, is the woman I spoke to in the very beginning of the video. Now that we're done searching the house, it's time to go to the Hall of the Dead and ask Helgerd a few questions. Hey Helgerd, notice anything weird about the body?
Well, she's dead, but I guess that's not unusual, at least not for somebody in here. I mean, someone who's not me, that is. Sorry, was only joking with you.
Okay, so you gonna tell me about the body, or?
Oh yes, right, of course. The only unusual thing is the shape of the cuts. They look like they were made with, well, the ancient Nords used these kinds of curved blades when they embalmed their dead. I don't know who in Windhelm would even have something like that. Other than me, of course.
Look, honestly kid, love you to death kid, you're a great kid, but you cannot be saying stuff like that. So it looks like the only things we learn are that Helgerd has 0 social skills and that the murder weapon was an ancient Nordic embalming blade. I also still don't know what the strange amulet I found was, so I decided to go and ask Calixto. Hey Calixto, you seen this amulet before?
Ah, yes. This is the wheelstone. It's an heirloom symbol of the power of Windhelm. Traditionally, it's carried by the court mage. I would be interested in acquiring it, if you're willing to part with it, that is. For a piece like that, I could pay 500 gold.
You want to buy it off me? You know this is evidence, right? Also, if it belongs to the court mage, shouldn't he have it?
Wurnfirth? Bah. It's purely ceremonial, and he has no use for it. Besides, I wouldn't want to be the one to give it to him. Gives me the creeps. They say he dabbles in necromancy.
Muy interesante, pero creo que me lo quedo.
Suit yourself. It's only of value to collectors, though. Good luck finding anyone else who will appraise it that highly.
You know what? On second thought, you got yourself a deal.
Wonderful. This will be a splendid addition to my private collection.
Score. I was about to walk out, but that's when I noticed something. A set of embalming tools. Hey, Calixto, can you tell me a little something about these embalming tools you got here?
These tools were found in a crypt outside Windhelm. They belong to the ancient Nords who dwelt in Skyrim before the days of the First Empire. Most scholars believe that the Nords of old used these implements to prepare their dead for burial. What macabre mysteries would these tools reveal if they could but speak?
Yeah, if only they could speak. But anyways, thanks for the information. I'll see you around. Alright, I don't know about you guys, but Calixto, there's something going on in there. But before I start pointing fingers, I want to go and talk to Viola, because she's the only person besides me actually doing something about these murders. Hey Viola, remember me? You warned me about the butcher a couple days back. Is there anything you could tell me about him?
I've been following him for months now. Well, not actually following. Trying to find him. The guards won't help. The people won't help. I'm the only one who thinks he can be caught.
I've actually been trying to find him too. I found these journals in Skyrim. Do you know anything about this?
Windhelm. There have been rumors swirling about him for years, as long as I can remember. But he's a dangerous man. That's why they call him the Unliving. I wouldn't approach him directly.
Viola says that Windhelm is dangerous and that I shouldn't approach him directly. Clearly, she doesn't know who she's talking to. So let's go interrogate Windhelm. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, hey, you. I'm here on official police business. I heard you dabble in necromancy.
I beg your pardon? Necromancy? I am a member of the College of Winterhold, in good standing. They haven't allowed necromancy for hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah? Well, how do you explain this? Oh, wait. I sold the amulet to Calixto. I forgot about that, though. But I found your amulet and your journals in the butcher's workshop.
My what now? I've never kept a journal, I can assure you. What exactly did this amulet look like?
I don't know. It was made out of some kind of metal with a skull in the middle, carved out of jade.
That is the necromancer's amulet of legend. It appears you were at least half right. There is necromancy at the heart of this.
So what do we do now?
I've been noting a pattern to when the killings happen. Now that we know they're tied into some sort of necromantic ritual, I think I know when the next might occur. Let's see. From Elordis of Last Seed until Amidus of Hearthfire, it will happen soon. Very soon. Keep watch in the Stone Quarter tomorrow night. That's almost certainly where the killer will strike next.
Well, it doesn't seem like anything crazy is going on here. Wait. You hear that? The butcher ended up being Calixto. Now, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. When we search his body, we find a key and the amulet, but it's different. This time, it's not some weird necklace. It's the necromancer amulet, and now it actually has stats on it. So we know that Calixto was the killer, but that still doesn't explain why he was doing all this. And I have a feeling that the answer is somewhere in his house. Inside the loft, we find a chest. Inside, we find all the tools he'd been using to kill and prepare the bodies, along with the final butcher journal. Soon enough, my sweet Lucilla, you will be with me again. Normally, when such words are written, it is because the love left behind is soon to depart. But in my case, I hope to soon bring your spirit back into my world, for it was you who loved this world so much, not I. I continue to collect your new form from the ragged bits around Windhelm. If they only knew what destiny would soon grace their bodies, with your spirit imbuing them with higher purpose, they would surely thank me for the great gift I give them. I reserve for them a place of beauty alongside your heart. The day draws near. Soon I will hold you, and I will show you this, and it will be as delivering a long-forgotten letter to a weary traveler. Love always, Calixto. Hello. If you made it to the end of the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know, I'm really trying to lock in on making these videos, so any support is greatly appreciated. And I have another one coming soon, so stay tuned.